Hey everybody, this is Yarince Pascual Mateo, your host here at Espera Que.
Welcome back everybody to Espera Que. Here's your host, Yarince, and I got to say, either latest news has been slowing down because there's going to be a huge rock coming at us, or my brain is mush and I'm just overloading in news. Because I'm not gonna lie, after this whole war just started, we still have the genocide still going on. The whole Sudan thing, people barely talked about it a few back, and then no one's talking about it now, and it seems like it's getting worse, and it's just bad. But let's just look at our issues at the moment and not stress about the world on fire. We'll do that later at the end of the show. Either way, so in our circus of fascist bastards, I'm not gonna lie, the king is continually spiraling and showing that he's deteriorating and going insane. Like, I was annoyed of all the Democrats in the past ignoring the fact that Biden is pretty bad. I mean, like, he is 1,000 times better than Donald Trump, but you're still multiplying a couple thousand with shit, literal dog shit. So, yeah, I mean, Biden is pretty much a war criminal who also helped support a genocide. But I'm not going to lie, Trump's being 10 times more erratic, crazier, and worse than Biden. We literally see him sundowning the same way Biden was sundowning during their first debate. Same thing, Trump's doing it. Trump's going on crazy rants over hours and hours, just texting and being just saying insane shit at anyone who is against him, his own allies, anyone like that. And it's just a shit show. But we can't really take down the king right now. He survived, 3 attempts this time. And I mean, truthfully, if that first shot happened, which it was in like July of 2024, I remembered it. I'm like, if it hit him, like, the guy deserves it. He's a horrible pedophile piece of shit, but that will make things 10 times worse because he will be martyred. But here we are. This psychopath pretty much dragging us into another forever war, but we have his clowns in this circus that he is forcing us all to be unwilling audience of, and they are not doing so hot right now. Kash Patel currently suing The Atlantic because they dropped a bombshell talking about how Kash Patel has been drinking and drinking and drinking, and it has become a liability to a point that sometimes his underlings, the FBI, has to use literal tools used for breaching situations like swatting and breaching into people that were holed up just to get this drunken bastard out. Like, I know Keg's breath right over here in charge of the Department of War is a alcoholic. He promised during his confirmation that he will not drink and will get himself under control, but I don't know. He's been leaking all over the place and been doing sermons like he just plagiarized Pulp Fiction, but most likely that's just because he was a drunk who used ChatGPT instead of just a drunk who was just drunk while writing the speech, which I doubt he even does that anymore with how much they are desperately with AI. But Kash Patel seems to be close in a chopping block. There's been reports of him being paranoid of losing his job. He is miserable. He is drunk all the time. He has been drinking a lot. He is not having a good time. But instead of just admitting he bit off more than he can chew and just resign, because again, this dude has no history in law enforcement. He has not done any cop shit. He is just a podcaster who has helped Trump get to power with his podcast. That is all he is. Yeah, if he could have just done the right thing and just resign and distance himself from this whole shit show, just take the bag and run. Like, you're still a piece of shit, but get out when you can. But nah, he's just going to sue The Atlantic. He's just going to go and sue The Atlantic and say it's defamation, which it's pretty hard to prove it's defamation unless you do discovery and find out all the shit. So that's just inviting investigation upon yourself if you want to win this lawsuit against the Atlantic. Yes, he may have Trump be his fascist self and try to put political pressure against the Atlantic as they did to anyone who's been critical and shit like that. But I mean, this just shows you're weak. This just shows you're pathetic. It's just sad. It's easier just to cut off the little guy. Like he should have cut himself off. And that's just disgusting because the dude, the whole debacle with the whole Charlie Kirk killing, like during the killing, they had no idea what's going on. He posted on Twitter information that was not confirmed, and then later on was proven to be false. You're the head of the FBI, and you're posting about an investigation. When they found Tyler Robinson, the kid who shot Charlie Kirk, he brought himself in. The FBI did jack shit. There's a lady from Good Morning America, the anchor, her mom. No one has heard anything about that. That's just, she most likely is dead. Like, we have not heard anything about this. We have not done anything. And then the whole going to Milan during the Winter Olympics to get drunk with the hockey team. There's the whole just being absolutely paranoid and not knowing how to do his own damn job. Firing very veteran and experienced FBI officers just because they talk back about how stupid you are, or just wasn't placating with the stupidity that they have to put up with you and his stupid country star girlfriend, who there are literal rumors in their own base talking about that she may be an Israeli spy just to keep him in order, which, like, my God, I expected this on the Democrat side, these conspiracy theories to be pointed at the Democrats, but there is Erica Kirk, Kash Patel's girlfriend. I can't remember her name. She's some B-list country star. I have no idea. All of them just apparently honeypots of Israel, which the Erica Kirk one, there's this whole thing because she's apparently was a part of an orphanage that was in Romania that was so bad because so many kids kept on disappearing that it was shut down in Romania, which, mind you, Romania is so messed up that it is taking them forever to throw the book at Andrew Tate, because that dude literally was bragging about doing this whole human trafficking shit with all the women that he has been abusing and stuff like that. And they're still, because of corruption and whatever bullshit Andrew Tate has enough to protect their dumbasses. Not anything. Like, that was Erica Kirk. And the whole issue that her parents had a lot of ties with Israel and all that shit. And there's this whole other string with Epstein. And it's a whole conspiracy thing, which if I'm not too versed enough to know all the strings, because if I start talking, I'll just sound like Alex Jones, which, I mean, I already sounded like Alex Jones a few years back when I was talking about how Trump is pretty much like the Antichrist, and Alex Jones over here is doing the same thing, but you know how it is. Well, out of that little tangent right over here, just to go back, Kash Patel, his days may be numbered, but another of Trump's little clowns have been resign, I would believe, went the whole resign route, which was another woman, which, I mean, out of all the guys, like, I think it was like Brett Bobino, whatever, that little commandant Nazi SS border patrol officer who pushed it too far in Minneapolis, who was the only male I know in this regime that was kicked out. But it was on the running of the whole mostly women, which all the women who works with Trump, remember, he will throw you away. Like, in the fascism thing, white supremacy is up there. White supremacy was made to make sure you don't go against those men, because at the end of the day, patriarchy succeeds that the instant y'all are all the same skin color. So yeah, this isn't me being a dumb male and telling you be in your place. This is me explaining to you the dogma and ideology you are trying to force everybody else into, and will bite you in the fucking face, as they've done to Chrissy Nome, as they're going to be to Tulsi Gabbard, MTG. She's getting death threats from all of Trump's cronies because he continues to call her a traitor and all that stuff. Like, come on, you're women. I've met women all my life. Most of the women are 10 times smarter than this and know not to associate themselves with such disgusting and horrible human beings just for their gain, because it will instantly crumble underneath their feet the second they piss off the wrong man. Like, we don't want a world based off of that, but here we are. Well, either way, Lori Chavez DeReamer, she was the labor secretary. She kept her mouth shut. She was actually like between Democrats and Republicans because she had some labor projections and she was going to do it because the Teamster union president, he was the one who pushed that through his communications with Trump. So that's how the Teamsters were able to help out a little bit with Trump doing it. Well, they're regretting it now because, you know, she's listening more to Trump and not the people. What do you expect? And she's been doing deregulations and then dragging her feet when it comes to protecting the people. Well, she is resigning because there is too much heat on her, and Trump is disappointed that she isn't doing all what he wanted her to do. Because on the one hand, she has her disgusting husband and disgusting father just sexually assaulting multiple people in her office, while also she is rabbled inside another cheating scandal, which, I mean, there's the Kristi Noem cheating scandal. So there's 2 cheating scandals. I wowould do the funny Phineas and Ferb joke of having 2 nickels right now, but there most likely will be dozens, no, hundreds of other cheating scandals in this godforsaken administration. And also, it's D-fucking-C. These bastards are unfaithful to anyone. They're only faithful to themselves. It's D.C. This is the hive of all of the political bullshit. Those fucks most likely fuck each other every day. Either way, talking about poor Lori, yeah, she is resigning because there's too much heat and she isn't doing what Trump wants, which that's another one down, but she will be replaced by Keith Centerling, which is just an American lawyer bootlicker who highly doubt has any idea of labor laws or anything like that, and it's only going to be another yes man to Trump, which that's the issue. Here it is. Yes, they're all idiots. These people are out of touch idiots who do not know what the fuck they are doing. But the issue is, when they continue to fuck up and it's so public, it's somewhat good because it makes it easier to get rid of them instead of them hiding it so easily. But they still hurt people. They still messed up things. And they still left a wake of destruction that either the next person who takes over ain't going to do shit about it, or worse, they're going to learn from it and either make it 10 times worse just to profit off of it, or make it 100 times even more worse just to make sure it protects Trump. So that's the issue. So coming up to our first break, I will just take from this installment of the crazy clowns in this regime, I would say is keep an eye on who is going through this revolving door. Keep an eye, who are they replacing and who are doing, because they're going to put someone who's going to click right in and make that machinery of fascism just spin perfectly, and things are going to get worse and worse and worse for all of us. So keep an eye on that and vote during the midterm because they are scared. I will explain to you after the break, but please vote. See you in a bit.
Hey, this is Shelby from Cannis Media. New podcast, Circuit Queens, drops April 29th, and we're sending one lucky VIP winner a VIP Everything Weekend Pass for the Purple Party in Dallas, Texas, and all you have to do is watch to win. Hear fierce stories, pulsing sets, and the people who've made the Purple Party a lifeline for LGBTQ Texans in Texas. Full episode drops April 29th. Hit play and feel the pulse.
Hi, this is Yarince Pascual Mateo. I am back. Espera Que is back in 2026, and yes, my hiatus was sad, and it was caused by a bunch of, I don't know, butthurt losers. But I'm not gonna say that. Don't worry, I'm here. I'm going to be annoying. I'm going to say fuck fascism, and I'm going to stand up against this shit. So please like, subscribe, enjoy my show, and let's fight against the bullshit that we continue to live with. Welcome back, everybody. Moving on. Let's see. So the slow news, but it seems like there is some changes happening when it comes to drugs in this country. Like, if you are not a U.S. Viewer or of this show, which hello, put yourself in the comments, say hi, where you're talking about from. That would be nice to know. But if you're not from the U.S., we had this whole stupid war on drugs. It was just a lie, so they can just go after anyone who was against the Vietnam War and Black people, because truthfully, it's anything the people in power hate and Black people, just because it's easier to associate with Blackness. So people who are stupid enough to believe in the delusion of whiteness can feel superior genetically because they have pale skin. Well, every horrible thing that they assume comes with the skin color can just go there, and they continue to live in this delusion when it is a false lie. And anyone can be a piece of shit when they are raised in the horrible environments around them. Like, yes, there is some nurture in there, but it isn't because your skin color was this one. It's like, what, two amino acids that change around to say, hey, you can have this much melanin. I digress. Either way, in health news, Joe Rogan is a pretty big advocate of using hallucinogens to help out with PTSD and a lot of things. Joe Rogan, one of his biggest space is like the supplemental health, botanical health, do-bro culture and stuff like that. And there has been a lot of veterans and people who use hallucinogens and like psychedelics to be able to deal with the PTSD issues. There has been research and information about using psychedelics and stuff like that, like shrooms or LSD or any of those types, to help out people through like talk therapy and stuff like that. On my idea, I have never done psychedelics. I don't know. Maybe in the future, maybe not. I'm in legal purposes. I'm talking about Minecraft right now. But yeah, if the research says this is helping people out, and I say, let's have some things. So Trump, being Trump, is floundering. He needs something, and he was losing that Joe Rogan experience, like backing, because he was posting on his Easter how he was going to commit war crimes and genocide, and he was over here being a psychopath and all that stuff. So he allowed Joe Rogan to come by into the White House and see him watch an executive order where they are able to pretty much do some restraints and stuff like that with hallucinogens and add more research into this topic, which, mind you, Doge most likely erased a lot of the grant funding for this type of research when they were doing this whole stripping of copper wires out of the government shit show, which fuck Elon Musk. I sometimes open X just to check out what the psychopaths are doing, which, trust me, they're getting more racist and racist and racist. A lot of pedophilia too. Like, there's a new game coming out, Pragmata. You play as a big burly dad, takes care of a robot android daughter. I see that and say, like, oh, that would be cute, and all the fun puzzle games and all that stuff. There is two camps of pedophiles out here who are upset that people are liking this game because it makes them feel something, which that's a you problem, mate, not a me problem. I see cute family drama. You see weird shit, and I don't want that shit. And there's the other guys who are losing their mind that there's censorship and they're not showing the little girl's feet. And I'm like, why do you want to see the feet, man? Why you want to see the feet? But again, out of this tangent from psychological drugs, we're having fun here in the Espera Que here. I'm sorry, I go this way, whap, whap, whap. That's how it goes. All it shows is that there is some changes with drug laws, right? Today, actually, there was breaking news about how they might be rescheduling marijuana to Schedule 3, which is a lawyer scheduling pretty much levels of like testosterone and ketamine and stuff like that, which makes it easier for research, more things, and making it, because I mean, half this country made weed legal. Half this country sees this weed legal. We need to fully legalize it because, again, We was only made illegal just because of the war of drugs, and the war of drugs only exists just to put people in prison who are against the president or black. Like, that's how it goes. So there is some gears turning. Maybe after this whole Trump regime, somebody will see that little string that they can pull to make sure that we have better legalization and more focus on stop putting people in prison for using drugs and more focus on how about we fix the issues that make people want to use drugs and then just help people get off of those drugs and just return back to human life. Because at the end of the day, it's drugs. It's drugs. Human society would not exist if it wasn't for drugs. If it wasn't for alcohol, we wouldn't be over here hanging out and having social and culture and stuff like that. If it wasn't for weed, there isn't a lot of treaties and stuff like that. Ancient societies use all these types of hallucinogens, drugs, and stuff like that on their daily life and be able to do it. Now we're in a day and age that we're able to learn more about it and bring it to a next level so we can understand it. But because some people want to keep power and money, they demonize anyone who uses it. And when you just demonize the person who just uses it, you can just throw them into jail. You can just kill them. You can just silence them. We don't want that. We should not be doing that. If someone has an addiction, they're not some subhuman creature or someone who should be thrown out of society. They just have a sickness that we just need to help them get off of. That's all. It will do 1,000 times better things for us to help those who are afflicted by addiction and helping them get off and getting into a better state and being able to put regulations and stuff like that so they are able to help. They're not draining the system because, trust me, there are bigger drains. I think the billionaires stealing our fucking profits or taxes are a bigger drain than someone who just needs a few weeks in rehab and some stabilization in their life. But moving on from the whole health thing, we have to talk about RFK Jr. and that I hate that man as well. Like, I hate Elon, I hate Trump, but RFK Jr. he's just there's a special kind of hate because Elon, I hate him just because he is a nepo baby, apartheid, racist, edgelord loser who thinks he can just edgelord his way into billionaire status, some like Tony Stark status, but it has failed miserably with anyone that counts, but still has enough idiots to keep him riding this tidal wave. And then you have Trump. He's a fucking pedophile. If you're a pedophile, I hate you. I'm sorry. You're a fucking pedophile. But RFK Jr., he's a psychotic, like, brainworm, crazy human being. I was saying, as I hate RFK Jr. just because he is just a disgusting and horrible person who cheats a lot, has pretty much squandered the wealth and privilege he was just given by being born a Kennedy. Like, if I was a Kennedy, like, I had to have the looks, the money, and the political power, easily could have been a president. But this guy is just an anti-vax quack who just cheats on every single woman he sees and just likes eating a lot of dead animals and dissecting them and bragging about how many ailments he has gotten and how he's strong because he likes to drink like raw milk and other whatever crazy health fad he is in the middle of it, and doesn't do vaccines, even though he most likely is fully vaccinated for fucking everything. There's a reason why people were crying out in the streets when the polio vaccine came out. There's a reason why there is issues that we shouldn't be dealing with, but because we have a literal anti-vaxxer idiot, womanizer, eater of dead animals off the floor, animal torturer, and carcass playing around with, who has gotten brainworms, and all around a racist, horrible person, which has become measles has been doing the resurgence here in the good old US of A, with more than 2,000 people still having measles and growing. And with all the funding cuts from the CDC and other things, we won't be able to know it and respond fast enough of it And I'm not going to lie, if there is a epidemic, which difference is pandemic is globe while epidemic is in a certain region. So when we have this epidemic here in the United States and pretty much all of our allies don't lift a finger because Trump pretty much scared them off being a piece of fucking shit. Blame RFK Jr. for that shit, which he was brought up to Congress to talk about how his handling of all the shit is going on, which is miserable. And we got to see one little thing about it, which he is a racist, bigoted piece of shit. So here's the thing. Trump did the stupid executive order getting rid of DEI, which in this country's terms is anything that makes white supremacy, shatters any white egos, anything that shatters that. Because what they mean by DEI is just like, oh, they're teaching the wrong history of America, talking about the slaves and black people. Oh, they're wrong, helping women achieve things. Oh, they're wrong because these disabled people are existing. That stupid shit. DEI also affected that because they repealed a lot of DEI programs that were helping with a lot of black women maternal health, which if you didn't know, which you should fucking know, this is very essential. You should know if you care about this country. Black women here really do not have good chances of giving birth in this country. Like, they do not have a good chance. And the reason why isn't because they're black or a woman. That's not the reason. The reason why is because we still live in a very racist, white supremacist society, and our healthcare as well still have those things. When we have doctors, racist or not intentional, will not listen to black patients, and like they barely listen to women. They do not listen to black women. They rarely listen to these women while they are screaming in agonizing pain and say they don't know what they're doing or they're doing drama or whatever. And these poor women die, either leaving their poor child or taking their child with them because of these doctors' negligence, because of the racism they grew up with, thinking it is okay to assume black women aren't someone you should listen to or not believe in for some godforsaken thing. Like, black women have the most, I don't know, fucking education in this godforsaken country. Yeah, we have a literacy rate to shit. Most Americans don't know more than sixth grade education, but most of the black women in this godforsaken country are getting their fucking degrees and putting into work and getting us out of shit. The least we can do is set up programs and research to focus on them, because they are only being affected not because they're special for being born black, but because we live in a racist society that still has horrible fucking scars from racism and slavery that is affecting people to this fucking day. And whenever idiots go out and say they want to get rid of DEI, what they're talking about is they do not want to deal with the fact that this country is a racist piece of shit country. And instead of, I don't know, facing their fears and just accepting that fact and working to do something about it, which that is why DEI was created. Yes, we don't want to focus on people's race, but when you have a society that was literally built on to harm people based on their race while putting other people up by their race, you have to be forced to focus on race until you get rid of that fucking system. Hence DEI. Diversity, equity, and inclusion, making sure the systems we live in are diverse, equitable for everybody, and it includes everybody. Because guess what? Everybody's a human being. But either way, RFK Jr. has been shown that of his racism when he was trying to just excuse the question was, one of the congresswomen was like, hey, how are we going to deal with the black maternity death rate in this country? Because, you got rid of DEI. So how are you going to focus on black women dying so much when being birth? And he's like, it ain't happening. Their maternity deaths went up to this day, which, birth rates are not going really up right now. And maternity is still bad. And also, I don't really trust this regime about women's health or safety because, one, again, they're protecting the pedophiles, Donald Trump and Epstein. And two, they really do not give a shit about women whenever they're in danger. Like, seriously, it has been shown multiple times. Like fucking RFK Jr.'s wife killed herself and the fucker kept on cheating and she died most likely because of his cheating. He does not give a shit about women. Either way, he just went on a whole tangent about how this DEI was separating our country and that they are caring about black women. But when he was being pressed and talked about how is he doing with it, he just said that we are doing it and just trust me, bro, which if the person you're asking doesn't back up the shit they are wholeheartedly protecting and just saying buzzwords, they're not someone you should trust. Really? Like, even if I do that, don't trust me. I should back up my shit with like sources and where did I hear this and how do I know this? This guy's in charge of fucking our healthcare system. Like Dr. Oz and this shit. Like, even then, when he was called out for his racist remarks about how all black kids are on Adderall and other ADHD medication, which makes them violent thugs that are dangerous, and we should put them into camps so they can be reparented, which that's what he said on a podcast in 2024 that was brought up to his face and said, hey, you still doing that? Which this isn't the first time he thought of putting anyone who isn't neurotypical into camps, which... yeah, let's just pull a whole Nazi, which, I mean, that's what they always do. Either way, he was pulled out and he's like, I never said that. I don't understand that. I never seen that, which that's just pathetic. That's really pathetic. But that just shows the biggest issue here. We have unreliable, bigoted, racist idiots who will chug us to the most dangerous and stupidest option in the ways that we should live and protect ourselves, just because either they're getting paid to or they are just so stupid and full of themselves that they're willing to kill millions and destroy everything that people have built over generations in just a few months, just because they cannot comprehend that the world is not their delusion. I like RFK Jr. is a ticking time bomb, because if there's like right now in Congress, they're trying to push a bunch of laws and shit like that just to brown nose Trump, creating new peace rewards to give to Trump, trying to rename a bunch of highways and locations under Trump, and trying to make Trump put research for Trump derangement syndrome, which it's this stupid fucking gotcha that they say whenever someone calls out Trump for being a pedophile or destroying the economy or starting another new forever war or just being a piece of shit. They're just going to say, oh my gosh, you have Trump derangement syndrome, acting like people are deranged and sick for fucking, I don't know, noticing reality, which this is a running joke when it comes to these fascists and conservatives. Like, they do this in the past. Whenever someone they deem a lesser being based on their beliefs or just because they're born a certain skin color or gender, because if they don't have enough evidence to just get rid of them, they just make up a medical term just to do it. The police did it just to make up like this crazy, I can't remember what's the name of the syndrome, but this is the name they give the syndrome whenever they just kill someone out in the streets and have no justification except for the fact that the police officers say themselves that, oh, they went inside and tried to attack me. It's just some crazy syndrome that people have whenever they have a gun in front of them and you tell them to follow in directions, but they don't want to, and they're mostly in black people. That's what they said about women back in the day. It's like, oh, women are just having hysteria because they're mad that you're abusive and not do anything in the household. Yeah, just lobotomize that bitch and get it over with. And now they want to make Trump derangement syndrome this whole thing, this shit show, which if they just do research, and most likely the research will go against it. Like the thing I'm talking about, cops, the excited delirium syndrome. A lot of research went into it, so obviously shown it was just cops hiding their shit. But, you know, cops have qualifying immunity, and we still believe in this delusion that cops actually save us instead of property or the rich. And yeah, if they push this whole Trump derangement shit, and you have RFK Jr., who's already an anti-vaxxer, already does not trust the FDA or believe in food safety already believes that apparently race is a biological fact, and that anyone with my skin color is like some subhuman creature that if you give them the right drugs, they act like savages. Which this is the exact same bullshit lies they use for the war on drugs, because the war on drugs started because some I can't remember, some abolitionist or some person who was against alcohol and stuff like that didn't have any money coming from, because no one needs someone to ban shit, so they started going after any Latinos or Mexican Americans or anything like that, any people with brown skin, and saying that, oh, if they smoke weed, they go insane and want white women blood. And here we are, same shit, stupid thing. Like, history doesn't repeat itself, it just rhymes. Because I'm not gonna lie, yeah, we only been on this earth for a very insignificant blip. Like, our life is like 2 seconds in the hour that we call the existence of Earth. Less than 2 seconds, it should be more exactly. Like 30 minutes of this hour was just a boiling rock just forming. But when it comes to human nature, we understand ourselves, and we just do the same stupid shit over and over and over. Demonize, hate, control, power. We just need to break this cycle. Which, a little hope before I get to the super depressing war news. Virginia won the redistricting battle, which will be able to add more seats to the Senate for Democrats, which, truthfully, I despise this whole strategy, because this is just gerrymandering, and I'm against gerrymandering. We should never be gerrymandering. This is how these racist assholes just put people in segregated locations just so they can get more votes, but also just do redlining and also just move all fundings to certain white areas, while all the areas that aren't white and not voting Republican get jack shit. Like, I hate it. But when the Republicans when Trump just started like blackmailing governors and stuff into making these new seats, you kind of have to fight fire with fire. Same way with fucking nukes when we get to Iran. But we got to go out and vote. Like, I know it is April, I know it is early, but this midterm is make or break. Because if we are able to cut off this serpent and at the head and do something, it will take years to recover from this shit show. It will take years for us to ever come back to the status quo we had. But we can use this time to go to a different direction and be better. But if we don't vote and we allow them to stay in power, fuck your human rights. Those camps that they act like are just detention for criminals, yeah, they're just going to drop the charades and just start calling them what they are. Simple as that. So, heading up to our break, we're run by a bunch of ghouls. Keep an eye on that. And please go out to vote, because if you don't, we're fucked.
Hey, this is Shelby from Cannis Media. New podcast, Circuit Queens, drops April 29th, and we're sending one lucky VIP winner a VIP Everything Weekend Pass for the Purple Party in Dallas, Texas, and all you have to do is watch to win. Hear fierce stories, pulsing sets, and the people who've made the Purple Party a lifeline for LGBTQ Texans in Texas. Full episode drops April 29th. Hit play and feel the pulse.
Hey everyone, this is Christian and Jenny from the Coffee and Pandusi show. We hope you're enjoying Espera Que with Yarince. It's a great show. Also, I want to remind you to join our show as well, Coffee and Pandusi, every Wednesday at 10 o'clock on your favorite podcast platform, and Jenny's show, Two Queers in a Truck.
Absolutely.
Every Wednesday at 11:30.
2025 is our 2025. If I can get it out right without sounding like I'm we've got two wonderful shows that have joined the family of shows that we've done for 6 to 8 seasons. Yeah. And Yarince is a wonderful host, who's a wonderful guest host with coffee, and a wonderful young man with a lot of great vision and insight. Looking forward to seeing his episodes flourish And as always, thanks for listening. Otherwise, Christian and I would be just talking to ourselves.
That's right, and we do.
We do. Doesn't keep us from doing that now.
That's right. Enjoy the show, y'all. Bye.
Welcome back, everybody, to end our episode. War news, more wars, more fucking wars. The Ukraine war, that's going on for like 4 or 5 years, which, Jesus Christ, this shit's mush in my head because I remember as a kid when Russia attacked parts of the Ukraine. I can't remember what was the name, but they attacked under Obama. Nothing came out of it. They still had it. And then when Biden came into office, they kind of went into this war. And then Trump, when he came back into office, he tried to end it, but it's just been a shit show with them just disrespecting Zelensky and all that shit, which after years of this, sometimes it's just surreal. If you just look at the videos of the people who were forced to live through this hell for years, like I've been hearing stories of like gamers who played like Escape from Tarkov, an extraction shooter, using the skills they learned from that game to survive escaping the Russians as they invaded their homelands. Right now, they live in cities with huge, giant spiderweb nets protecting them because the new age of warfare is drones, and you have drones just flying out of nowhere and bombing the shit out of you just because they're easy to produce, real quick, easy to learn to use. Like, you will see battlefields filled with silk webs. They call them spider webs because there's so many drones flying around, blowing up whoever they see. People just dying in the freezing cold for some stupid ass dictator, while people dying in the cold, fighting for their home that this was never in their cards. Why the fuck would they need to be fighting this shit? Why should they be fighting this shit? This was their home. This was how it is. But because of a fucking madman wanting more land and going into some glory days of some Russia that has failed, is not worth. So it's depressing on the Ukraine front. With the whole shit show in Iran, a lot of our U.S. support will dwindle to Ukraine, and Ukraine may have issues there. If a lot of European countries are hoping to switch over to Ukraine to help out with that, that would be good for them. But they already have to deal with the whole Iran shit, which with Iran, we have started this stupid ass war like 5, almost up 2 months. I'm trying to remember the spending calculator right now so we can talk about that. But this war has been going on for so long. Killed a lot of our 13 of our service members, which that's just annoying. The war, we have made it to 53 days of this stupid ass war. $58 billion wasted on this. This money could have went for free education, for pay to, I don't know, end of college, a bachelor's degree. Could have been spent on free healthcare for all of our people so people can stop dying in debt. It could have went to better schools, better food, making sure everybody's at home or stuff like that. But no, we're doing the stupid war. Trump's trying to push a $1.5 trillion budgetary increase to the Department of War. And talks are horrible. First of all, they have JD Vance. JD fucking Vance. JD Mr. I think more than the fucking Pope Vance. Trying to negotiate peace between Iran. One, the dude's a Play-Doh loser that no one respects or gives a shit or likes. He has no charisma, and we can literally see journalists just understand that he's just going to talk shit and just hang up on him because he is not even worth the time and energy, and he won't do jack shit if you do. He is pathetic. And he's apparently the one doing negotiations, which negotiation isn't going well. And truthfully, at this point, Iran's going to get more out of this. Iran is going to be the one getting more money out of this. Iran's going to have more of the good public PR out of this. Iran's going to be the one who's going to be the darling if the United States gets violent, because this is how it is. The ceasefire, it's pretty much ending. This 2-week ceasefire is pretty much ending. Israel already has been shitting on it ever since they just been fucking with Lebanon, which we're going to talk to that about in a moment. But it's shit show. And the only idea that the United States has is that they're just going to blockade the blockade. So Iran already has the strait shut. So now the United States are going to shut that and stop anyone. So if they don't get anything, anybody's going to get anything. Which is, we're just the villains here. We're the bad guys here. We're the empire. This is so stupid. People are dying. Our service members, it could be ranging from like kids to like moms and dads, like dying or getting traumatic injuries that they will have to suffer for the rest of their lives for this stupid war of choice that was not legally even created, nor needed or wanted. And the thousands of children and people in Iran who are just going through the shit, their environment, shit. Like, they just blew up a bunch of oil depots and shit like that. And Trump is still threatening genocide, destroying their whole entire fucking civilization, and also destroying their power plants and fucking roads and bridges, which, why? Like, they keep on saying that they won. They will win. They were going to eradicate Iran already. They already destroyed all their fucking flight capabilities when one of our fighters just got shot down and they have to do a whole entire rescue mission to get one of the pilots. All this blustering for what? To hide the Epstein files? Someone needs to leak that shit. Like, enough of this shit. Leak it. Just leak it. Leak that shit. If you have the ability to leak the Epstein files, just do it. Fuck the rules. Fuck all the laws. Just do it. Because trust me, it is 1,000 times better that that shit's out in the open and we can finally bring to those in power who made thousands of children and men and women suffer for no fucking reason but the fact that these bastards have enough money to get away with it. Like, because if we don't, we just have this pedophile who is desperate to start a war that caused the deaths of hundreds of thousands of innocent people just because. Like, it is dumb. Like, at this point, like, whoever's running for the Democratic Party, just say, hey, leak it and I'll pardon you. And like, it's stupid, but that's Iran. But to end on the bad note, Israel, using the whole Iran shit as an excuse, is attacking Lebanon and is trying to just conquer the country. Like, they took in 1/8 of Lebanon and displaced 1 million people out of their homes, which they're literally doing the exact same shit they're doing inside Gaza and the West Bank, where they're just executing medics and children and men and women or anyone they see and just being barbarous, horrible human beings, which they're not barbarous, horrible human beings because the people are Jewish. No. Judaism isn't the problem here. The problem is they're being barbaric, rapist, horrible human beings because they assume because they have the political backing of Israel and also the funding of the United States government, they can go around raping and killing innocent people because nobody's going to stop them. Because, again, they have the United States being the big dog and protecting them as they commit war crimes. And that's just stressful, which that's just a horrible thing because I feel bad for all the kids in Israel who has to grow up in this like horrible brainwashed society of an apartheid state where because if they're light skinned and Jewish, they are human beings. And if they're dark skinned and not Jewish, they are animals you can torture and rape, which that aside, it's worrying how fucking okay they are with all the sodomy and shit like that. Again, not the Jewish people, but the people in power in Israel who are just horrible human beings. Because again, as I said this multiple times, you don't need to be a certain skin color, religion, sexuality, or anything to be a horrible human being. You just have to be raised around inside an environment that tells you it is okay to be that horrible human being. And it is disgusting. Just disgusting. Like protests upset about IDF soldiers being called out for being rapists, getting rid of the people leaking out the atrocities and saying we should be better than this, going into another country under the excuse and just mass murdering, using weapons, using like phosphorus and chemical weapons just to kill innocent people living in their lives, stealing an eighth of their land and displacing millions. And the United States just allowed this because, I don't know, a bunch of evangelicals think that if we put all the Jews over there, the rapture will happen and all those bad Jews will die, but at least we get to go to heaven, which if you still think that you're going to heaven after being a racist, bigoted piece of shit who just dehumanizes anyone who isn't white, straight, or male, I don't even think God's going to even look at you at the gates. You're just going to wake up in hell and just have to accept your fate. It's just sad. But that is the shitty life we live in, and I'm that stupid dog in the burning room, losing his shit, but just taking a deep breath because I literally cannot fucking do anything about it except scream, yell, and annoy enough people to do something about it. This is Yarince Pascual Mateo here at Espera Que. Thank you for listening to our show. Thank you for continuing. Please leave a like, subscribe if you're on the YouTube, or if you're listening on any of our podcast platforms. Just share the link, share my stupid rantings. We're hoping to add more and bring more to the content and get more things. I'm still situating myself after the whole Charlie Kirk situation, but there is some good news on that front. Getting interviews, getting work, just living it off, and I'm going to keep on reporting and talking. I'm not being a journalist. I'm just a loud mouthpiece, but I will like to grow more and get better and better. So I'm going to keep this going, have fun with this, and just do my best. And I'm just going to tell y'all, shit's hard, shit's weak, it feels hopeless, but that's how they win. These fascist fucks win when we lose hope. Don't lose it. Just like shit's happening, shit's fucked. Start doing what you want to do. Start writing that book. Start painting that picture. Start making that song. Fuck it. What are they going to do? Stop you? Throw you into a camp? That just proves them that they're wrong and you're right, and you have the right to do whatever the fuck you want. So fuck fascists. Fuck this hellscape we live in, and keep on moving forward. We got this. We have the right to exist. No one is illegal on a stolen land. And yeah, they might throw us at the meat grinder, but let's be those pebbles that will shatter and destroy it. Fuck fascism and have a good week. Thank you for listening to Espera Que, and hope to hear you from next week. Hi, everybody. This is Yarince from the Espera Que show over here. All I'm here is doing a little quick PSA. Use this summer to do volunteer work. Go to your nearest YMCA. Go to your nearest homeless shelter. Go to whatever community services or programs that you can help out and volunteer. Because right now, we have a bunch of fascist pieces of shit trying to rip apart our country and rip apart the people, our communities, by spreading hate and bigotry. The best way to combat it is, one, working in your community and standing strong to show that you are strong and you're here to help out others. Two, combat misinformation. If you hear bullshit, first research and make sure if it's true or not. If it is not true, call it out. If it is true, get the facts. Be knowledgeable of it because it might come out later. So always stand against that. And three, fuck fascists. Stand against them. Make them feel uncomfortable. There is too many people out there feeling like they can say the hard R or say slurs or be violent. Make them understand that a lot of people die to make sure this hatred and bigotry does not exist. All our civil rights workers, all the people who stormed Normandy, everybody who fought against intolerance and hatred, they died and worked their asses off to stop this. So follow in their footsteps and stop this madness. This is Yarince again from Espera Que.
And all I can say is be there for your community and stand up for what's right. Fuck fascism and have a wonderful day.
Coffee and pan dulce. How's that? Coffee and pan dulce.
Sounds
You
great.
sounded like a telenova. I mean,
I'm trying this. All I have to say is go. Yes.
as a
right.
non-Spanish speaker.
Short. All right, let's talk about his Jesus Jesus meme. You know what I'm talking about? Okay,
Yeah.
that'll be the show. All right, here we go. Okay, so we'll just take this last commercial and then we'll come back. All right, here we go.
And this is the Jenny Award.
And this is the Pendejo Chronicles. Coffee and pan dulce. How's that? Coffee and pan dulce.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, pause.
Good job.
Okay. What's next?
You're going to end with Iran?
Iran, Lebanon, and Israel.
Yeah,
And
because if you're going to end with Iran, the next is I have RFK Jr. reschedule.
The drug schedule,
Yeah.
and then the Joe Rogan
Yeah.
issue.
Mhm.
Okay, we can talk about that. Welcome back. Well,
Yeah, you got to count. You got to count down because my face was in there.
Yeah. 3, 2, 1, pause. And I hate him.
And then whenever you're ready, we'll edit it in.
3, 2, 1, pause. We'll get into it in a moment.
All right, stand by just a second. Okay, all right. Last segment, I guess, is Iran.
Iran, Ukraine,
All right.
and Israel. Okay.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, pause.
All right. Fuck fascism.
Yeah.